Red round. Time for Watch Skip Plus.
Hey, you wanna watch some TV or something?
Skip it. Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Nothing but foul language and toilet humor.
I'm disgusted and repulsed and I can't look away.
I need these things! I need these things! Tell me, do you wanna go? Where it's covered in all the color lights. Oh, no way, Jose.
This just in, go to hell!
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Hello, friends and listeners. You've got Watch Skip Plus, our YouTube channel. Our home is obviously Spotify, but we are a movie review podcast with a lifestyle twist. That twist is after we review a movie, we will give you a bonus review, a lifestyle review. It can be on anything. Pop culture ensues. My name is Jose, also known as Cupcake. I'm joined by Mike, also known as Wildebeest, who is beaming in from a top secret location after having plummeted from the vacation bubble back to real life. Mike, how are you doing?
Doing good. We had a good vacation in southern Utah, and then I got home for a day, and then I headed up the mountains, Park City, Utah, for a mortgage show because I'm in the mortgage biz. So doing a little convention and trying to fit a freaking episode in whenever we can, folks.
Because we love you and we love doing this. And so if this is your first time here on our YouTube channel, go ahead, all these fun things down here, follow, like, subscribe. We promise it would be fun to monetize, but quite honestly, we want to grow our community. So go ahead and follow and subscribe and leave a comment, leave a review. Hopefully it'll be 5 stars. What are we reviewing this week?
We are reviewing Fight or Flight. It was originally made for the Sky TV. It's a British made-for-TV film that we got theatrically in the States.
So I believe this is the first both streaming and theatrical film that we have reviewed, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I'll start with Below the Line. Mike and I kind of talked about how we were going to approach this, and I'm going to attempt to put my money where my mouth is and and try to do this from memory. Okay, so Below the Line, I may need to look at the list, but I don't have any notes about this, but here we go. Our director is James Madigan. So from what I can tell, James Madigan started in visual effects. So he did digital compositing and then scanning for films like Waterworld and Eraser. And then eventually moved up to visual effects supervisor on films like Van Helsing, as well as television shows like Rome. Now, like any good visual effects person or anybody in Hollywood industry, he wanted to work his way up. And so he actually ended up doing double duty, visual effects supervisor and second unit on a ton of films. G.I. Joe Retaliation, that's going to be very important later. Red 1 and 2, Insurgent, and recently Bill and Ted Face the Music, and then the Apple TV series C, which we've talked about before because what did we review with Jason Momoa? I don't even remember.
Minecraft.
That's right. The big success story of the year. And I forgot. But yeah, we reviewed Minecraft, and Jason Momoa stars in that. C will be very, very important as well. And so this is actually James Madigan's first feature film after having directed a couple episodes of television. I think Medal of Honor was one, and maybe The Marvel's Runaways. I don't know. I'm trying to do this from memory without looking. Okay, so our writers, we have 2 writers, Brooks McLaren, who I thought it was a woman, folks, but it's not. It's actually a man. It's a man, baby. And weirdly, I think, and I'm going to flash a picture up, right? I think he kind of looks like Josh Hartnett's nerdier, cuter brother. But anyway, Brooks McLaren, he is a writer and a producer. The only big thing, like James Madigan, that he has actually done prior to this is a film called How It Ends on Netflix. And that starred the devastatingly gorgeous Theo James. And I almost said David Oyelowo, but it's not him. It's Forrest Whitaker, folks. So Forrest Whitaker, they starred in this film, and Brooks McLaren actually wrote that, and he also EP'd it. He's also an EP on this as well. Interestingly, there's not a lot on Brooks McLaren, but I kind of like looked at his social media page, and he has he's a very rare form of epilepsy. He says that he has what are called absences, and so the example that he used was, if a normal person experiences the full 60 seconds of every minute of their life, he experiences maybe 48 seconds here or 52 seconds here or something like that. And so he didn't realize that until he actually got like an EEG, because he just felt so different from everybody, like he wasn't in his own skin. It's a very interesting story. Mr. McLaren, if you're watching this, I hope you'll make a movie about it or whatever. It's apparently a very rare form of epilepsy. The other writer, curiously enough, and I was very surprised with this, and I showed Scooter when we left the movies who this was, but the other writer is DJ Catrona, and that name should sound familiar because he played Flint in G.I. Joe Retaliation. He has been an actor in series and films. Many may know him as the superhero version of Pedro from Shazam. And then he played one of the Gecko brothers on the El Rey Network series From Dusk Till Dawn, inspired by, of course, the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by Quentin Tarantino. So our DP is Matt Flannery. Now, when I mention Matt Flannery's background, it'll become very obvious why he was picked for this. But Flannery works very closely with Gareth Evans. And we talked about Gareth Evans recently because I had plussed Havoc. Gareth Evans is the director of The Raid 2, Redemption, or is it The Raid, Redemption, and then The Raid 2? But Flannery has essentially lensed all of Gareth Evans's films. So obviously he knows martial arts, he knows fighting, he knows how to lens that. And curiously enough, Flannery is a co-creator with Gareth Evans of a great Sky series, since we're talking about Sky, a Sky series called now I just blanked on it. Gangs of London. It's called Gangs of London, and it is fantastic. There are fight scenes in that are just like, I was hiding under my couch watching it, and it's really a brilliant show. I think they're on season 2, so it's pretty fantastic. I am going to look at this list because now I completely forgot. Our music is by Paul Saunderson, probably best known for scoring Nova as well as BBC's Earth miniseries, but he has worked in the music department for a bunch of films, essentially like composing, arranging, etc. Everything from like Kick-Ass to 47 Ronin. He is a multi-instrumentalist. I think he got his music degree from University of Leeds. If I'm wrong about any of this, I'm going to make a caption, folks. Yes, I think he also composed for C, which is sort of interesting as well, since he's composing this music. There is one other person that I want to mention. Well, two things. I want to mention that this was filmed in Hungary. I know a lot was made about the Orange One's tariffs against films made in other countries that are shown in the US, but quite frankly, the tax incentives to film in the US are nothing like the tax incentives overseas or in Canada. And so this film was filmed in Hungary, and our stunt coordinators, if you look them up, a lot of them, anything filmed in Hungary, they're essentially on it, whether they're a stunt person or they're a stunt performer. But the name I want to mention is Alain Moussi. He is the fight coordinator here and one of the stunt coordinators. Alain Moussi should be familiar to all of you because initially he started in stunt work. So he has doubled the likes of, listen to these names because they're all hot. Henry Cavill, in Immortals. He doubled Hugh Jackman in X-Men. He doubled Jay Courtney in several things, including the Suicide Squad. But people will know him because he starred in the reboot of Kickboxer. So there was actually 2 movies, Kickboxer Retaliation and Kickboxer Vengeance. I might have flipped that order, but he is the devastatingly good-looking martial artist. Curiously enough, he was actually born in, I want to say it's called Gibbonsville Libre or something like that. He was born in Africa, basically, but I believe he moved to Canada. That's where the sort of French Montreal kind of stuff goes. But fantastic martial artist. He's gorgeous. He's got great feet. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put a picture up. But he's the fight coordinator here, and he actually was the fight coordinator on C as well. And so, like any business, you find the right people, you connect with those people, and you throw them all in. So those are people below the line. I guess I kind of did it.
You did it. You're gonna be better than me. I'm really, with everything, I'm doing my best, but we'll see.
I know it's all good. It's all good. Feel free. Feel free.
We're gonna start with the man of the hour. We're just gonna go with him, Josh Hartnett himself. A little tidbit. I actually own a piece of clothing that he wore on a film. I actually own a Neff coat that he wore on the 30 Below, I think is what it was called. My wife.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So one of the coats that he wore. It's about him getting trapped, a snowboarder. But anyway, Josh Hartnett got his career started way back when with one of the Halloween movies, H2O. Gosh, I love that movie so much, and that weird little hair he was sporting with that and the faculty.
He could never get his hair right.
And I love that about it. And it was like there was that one 40 Days and 40 Nights, or maybe I flipped that.
You're right. It's 40 Days. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also had that weird little hair thing that was just his thing back in the day. But now we're in this like fun renaissance with Josh Hartnett, where he's kind of come back with Trap, and we have this. I mean, we've had some stinkers like Black Dahlia, but I've really enjoyed his charisma as of late, and I've always enjoyed his presence on screen. What about you?
Oh my God, I love Josh Hartnett, and you know what? It's funny. I love this renaissance of actors in their later career, and I don't know if it's because they're just like, you know what, take a chance on me or whatever, but it's like he is now in the phase where Russell Crowe is now also, because Russell Crowe had his award-winning days or whatever, but now you see him in things like Pope's Exorcist, Land of Bad or whatever, and he's just crushing it and having fun. And so I'm here for it. I loved Trap. I know everybody shit on it, but I've seen it 3 times, and Hartnett is fantastic in it. So
all righty, well, let's move on to Katie Sackhoff. Katie Sackhoff, she's one of my favorites. She actually got her start on a little TV. See, I'm not good at this. So called Battlestar Galactica that ran in the 2000s. That's the first time I saw her, but then she showed up on Nip and Tuck. I used to watch Nip and Tuck in a whole different life when that came on. I also remember her on CSI Crime Scene. I remember her on the White Noise sequel. I'm trying to think what else I've seen her on, but I just always see her face. Riddick.
I think she got her top. I think she showed her boobies in Riddick.
Showed her boobies in Riddick. Yeah, she did. So I really like her. I'm a fan. I don't like this little haircut she's doing in this movie, but it was fun to see her.
Oh, I love the haircut, man. It's like Roadrunner. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's fucking fantastic. First of all, I love Katie Sackhoff. As you all know, I am a flaming homosexual, but I think she is gorgeous. Like, I would absolutely switch teams for her. You mentioned all of the roles that she's been in. Obviously, Starbuck, Battlestar Galactica. Huge controversy when they cast her. It's not the real Battlestar. It's a girl Starbuck. And then they all worshipped at her feet. So they all ate it. Will say this. Oh my God, I love her. Also, she's great with crazy eyes, just so everybody knows. She's gorgeous. She's got the crazy eyes. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because my favorite role of hers is one of the producers for Battlestar, David Icke, tried to reboot The Bionic Woman. and she showed up as the first bionic woman. And she just crushed that role. She didn't last the full season, but man, I will forever remember her as I'm the first bionic woman, and then she like beats the shit out of the new one. So anyway, I love Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Next, we're going to go to someone who's kind of new, Charithra Chandran. I really liked her in this. I think I've seen her a couple times. I watched the One Piece series. She popped up on there.
Oh.
Yeah, she's also been in Dune Prophecy, the television show, and Bridgerton on Netflix.
Nice.
She has a small role in Eternals. I don't remember her in that. But again, she's very beautiful Indian actress. And I think this really is the role that's going to shoot her. I really liked her in this movie. She was really awesome. Have you ever seen her before? This was like the first time for me, really. After I'd seen it and did some research, I was like, okay, I kind of remember her here and there.
You know, honestly, yeah, I remember like here and there, and I think I probably remember her from Dune Prophecy, but you know what? Revoke my gay card, folks. I don't watch Bridgerton. I will eventually, I promise. But I'm sure if I watched Bridgerton, I would know her from that, but I don't. But yeah, she's gorgeous. Got a great future ahead of her.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of her. Okay, next we're going to go to Julian Kostov, I believe is his name. Okay. Julian Kostov, I first recognized in White Lotus. Of course, he was in a show on Netflix called Shadowbone, as well as he was on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. For me, I have not seen him in anything, but I really thought he was pretty good in this, playing against Sakov. They kind of were playing together, and I thought he was pretty good, but I've never seen him. But he definitely looks like someone you'd have a crush on. What did you think about Julian Kostov?
You are so right. I had a crush on him, and I for the life of me, I've been trying to figure out, and it might have been Leatherface, but I remember seeing him and being like, this guy's really hot. Like, what else is he going to be in? And then, you know, as you said, White Lotus, of course. I'm going to guess Kostov is Russian. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's Bulgarian.
Oh, Bulgarian.
He's Bulgarian. Okay. Even better.
Yeah.
Russian, Bulgarian, that side, I love it.
You know it all. So we'll hit one more person who I really want to talk about, and that is Huey O'Donnell. I really thought he was pretty great in this.
He was actually.
He really was one of those small roles that quite caught me off guard. Really funny as one of the I can't remember exactly what his name was in the movie. Garrett was his name, but I thought that he was one of those little roles that kind of came in and stole the show. So again, this is filled mainly with small actors, TV actors, and then of course this was all about Josh Hartnett. Is there anyone else in the cast that you wanted to touch base on before we move on to the movie review proper?
I also really thought Huey O'Donnell was super cute. I know that
little redhead, perfect.
I loved him. I thought he was adorable. Also, it's great. He was in the beginning. He's all like, "Thanks for coming late. We have, you know, whatever." I was like, "Oh, he's the chief flight attendant." Yes. So the only other person I wanted to mention is right off the bat, we get, and I sort of screamed his name out, which was really embarrassing in the theater. But
Zaror.
Yeah, Marco Zaror. Marco Zaror. So he is Chilean, and much like Alain Moussi, he has sort of like toiled in the background. He's shown up on like Robert Rodriguez movies. He had his own movie. He was in the Killer's Game, John Wick Chapter 4. He's done a ton of like Scott Adkins movies, but I really need him to be a bigger star than he actually is, because not only is he an authentic, awesome martial artist, he's good looking and he's not bad as an actor. The film that I remember seeing him in,
what was that?
There was a film called Redeemer that he did after he did Machete Kills, and that's really good. Check out Redeemer. I think he did a really great job in that film. So I need him to be a bigger star because he's amazing. And he's really great in this too.
He was pretty fun in this, yeah. As far as those kind of like, I mean, I saw him and I recognized his face from John Wick, but he's someone who does his own stunts, right? He's stuntman first and then kind of has acted, and he's really good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Need him to be a bigger star.
Should we go on to the movie proper?
Yeah, let's do it. Spoiler-free thoughts. You know what? I'll go first. Why not? So here are my spoiler-free thoughts. I'm going to say a phrase that some have criticized as, well, you're not really telling me anything. And I'm just going to say, I had fun with this.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have affectionately nicknamed this Bullet Plane because this is very much the movie I thought I was going to get when I saw 8711 Action Designs. David Leitch, who's the director of it, founded 8711. You all know I'm a big 8711 fan, but when I heard David Leitch was doing Bullet Train, this was the movie I expected. I expected wall-to-wall fights, bone crunching, gore, and just utter lunacy. I might have gotten 2 out of that list for Bullet Train, and it is just it's just great. It's nothing original under the sun. I'm going to mention it pretty much bites off of Smoking Aces. And there's a number of films like that. There was even one recently that was sort of, I was like, this is just Smoking Aces or whatever. But there's such a lunacy to this, the way that they just throw you into things. I will admit, and I think Madigan has said this also, that they had a really, really low budget. And so when this starts off, I'm kind of like, am I watching a streaming movie? And surprise, it was a streaming movie to begin with. But at some point after the third wisecrack from what's his face, Kostoff, I sort of was like, okay, it's going to be that kind of movie. I'm just going to lean into it. And I think Josh Hartnett got that same memo, because he's so unbridled in his performance in this, and he is just absolutely ready to go for broke, basically. This performance, it's like nothing you've seen from Hartnett, and it's fantastic. I just really, really want to see more. And this movie is, there are huge lapses in logic, but, you know, eventually the filmmakers are just like, we don't give a shit. We're here to have fun. There's just an escalating sort of series of, where are they going to go with this? What's going to happen? And at some point, characters are introduced, and it just sounds so ludicrous when the character explains it that Hartnett just goes, why the fuck not? And that is the attitude the filmmakers had with this, that the actors had with this, and the fight scenes are great. It's got great action choreography. So just, you know, kind of turn your brain off, because the whole time I was like, does no one notice this in first class? Like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah, just turn it off. And, you know, let me just say, how do you get a chainsaw on a plane? You do some craziness like this shit. So it's a total watch. I know it's not doing really well, but do yourself a favor, go to the theater and watch this. You get it with the right audience, like mine, where they're looking at me with dirty looks when I scream out Marcus Aurora, but they're laughing and they're hooting and hollering while all this is happening. I texted this to Troy and Brad and Sammy, but next to Minecraft and Sinners, this was my third favorite theatrical viewing experience. Like, I had that much fun with this. And I defy anybody to have an action film like this, that just, it strikes the right chord. There's even a point where, you know, they're fighting and they're playing like sort of old-timey, eccentric kind of like music a la Matthew Vaughn in Kick-Ass, but somehow it worked. Everything just worked. You can point to a bunch of things and say, this is stolen from that, and we've seen this before, but it all just worked, and it was wonderful. What did you think?
I thought it was a lot of fun as well. The plot doesn't make it too much plot. I mean, that's the reality. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, what is the plot? Something Josh Hartnett used to be some kind of a Secret Service agent who ended up seeing something he shouldn't have, got mad at somebody who was stealing a little girl, beat him up, got kicked out, and then him and Katie Sackhoff
is on the run together. Yeah,
he's on the run, and she's like, I need you to come and find this cyber stalker, somebody named the Ghost, that's a cyber terrorist, and they needed they needed his help. So that's basically the plot. He gets onto this plane to go and find said people or person, and what ends up happening is he ends up being on a plane full of assassins, and little does he know they end up all getting his picture and they have to kill him. So that's fight or flight. I mean, this basic, simple.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, you got nuts getting smashed. You've got there's this great little nuts twist, and then you get
my God.
an eye gets gashed by a glass. I mean, there's so many awesome moments in this movie that I was just like, and a great use of the Romeo and Juliet theme when they're shoving this guy into this carry-on. There's so many funny moments throughout the movie and memorable bits. You said it best with the chainsaw, throwing the chainsaw, and of course, the one thing I don't like is we start in the middle. I hate when movies do that. Why do we have to start in the middle / end of a movie and then reverse back? It seems like so many movies we've watched recently and reviewed have done that. I'm kind of over that trope. I get it. It kind of puts you in it. We didn't need it. I would have much rather just got right to it. Kind of ruined a pretty pivotal part, I think, and the trailer does as well. But overall, I mean, what do you expect? They're on a plane. There's guns. Of course, it's going to get breached. Somehow it gets fixed. I don't know how. There's not much logic. You just got to turn off your brain and have fun with this one, really honestly and truthfully, and just enjoy the fight scenes. I like this more than Love Hurts, more than a lot of action films.
Oh my God, yes. Absolutely.
So,
and you know what? I was thinking about this too. Like the movie's low budget and there are lapses, but like Monkey Man was low budget and made by a first-time film director. And Monkey Man was not as successful as this. This one, although like Monkey Man, it throws a lot of stuff in here that maybe it didn't need. It still all worked somehow. It was just a fantastic little salad that they threw together. It was great. It's good stuff.
Once you get to that 55-minute mark or that hour mark, the last half hour is just balls to the wall. I mean, it's just fun. You just can't get your eyes off the screen for that last half hour. Again, I loved when he got on that toad venom and totally lost his marbles. There's a moment where you see Hartnett fighting on toad venom and the color sequences of it all. Just so much brilliance overall for this kind of film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a watch for me.
Me too. Super watch. Like I said, third favorite theatrical experience this year. I mean, it was just it's just so much fun to watch. You know who's gonna love this? Kelly from Gentleman's Guide.
Kelly Baird. Yeah.
He will eat this up. Will absolutely eat this up.
I think he did eat it up. I think I saw he posted it.
Oh, did he? Oh, great. This has Kelly written all over it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if you have not seen Fight or Flight, it's a watch for both of us. Or, hey, listen, if you have the wherewithal to use a router and get Sky, you can subscribe to Sky and watch it that way if you'd like. Although we didn't say that. But if you have not seen Fight or Flight, we are going to ruin this faster than you can board a plane in 3, 2, 1. So the toad venom sequence, I think that, first of all, there's all these little vials, right? I thought they were like injectable vials, but I guess not, because he unscrews it and just drinks what he thinks is adrenaline, but it ends up being toad venom. And I'm like, first of all, if it was adrenaline, it doesn't work that way. You don't drink adrenaline and then you get exactly. So then, but again, by the time this happens, and the scene that I was talking about where he's like, why the fuck not? It turns out that the Indian woman, I can't remember. What did she do? She stole some data, or she?
Yeah, she's Ghost. So
that's right. She's the Ghost, but she knew about something going on. I can't even. You know what? It's all incidental. This whole MacGuffin, but apparently, apparently she knew about some Mijigas that was happening. That the evil government people don't need getting out. And she ended up running away to some like Tibetan location, and she ended up at like a monastery of all women. And so towards the middle of the film, these women show up like they're out of Zoo Warriors of the Mountain, Flying Mountain or whatever, like what do you call it? What is that director's name? Shit. the Asian director. Anyway, it's a lot of like wire foo, but they literally look like they're out of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or some kind of wire foo movie like Zoo. And she's like, no, they're with me, they're my protector or whatever, which begs the question, where the fuck were they early in the film when all this shit was happening? Were they just like, were they praying or like meditating? But again, like, these questions are pointless when there are people getting kicked in the face and, you know, bones being broken and people who have swords and chainsaws on planes. But yeah, when they show up, the monk women, you know, Hartnett's like, why the fuck not? And he just is like, let's go, you know? But he gets the toad venom, and it's so funny that I kind of nicknamed it Bullet Plane, because it almost felt like the Japanese character moment where there's all the colors and there's the mascot in Bullet Train doing that. And I was just like, they're doing it so much better and with less money. Like, what's happening? So yeah, I now it's gonna bug me. Like, what did she?
What was the big twist where we find out that Sackhoff and her partner work for some kind of, like, is that Facebook or some kind of weird social media? We're thinking that she works for some government, and then all along she ends up working for like some kind of a Facebook or some kind of social media company.
But so wasn't that like a cover? That was their cover for them being like,
I think that was the twist. Again, I don't know. None of this really made a lot of sense. I think what we were supposed to believe. I mean, I'm sure Kevin will tell us the correct because he's seen this. I believe that all along she stole something from this company, and because nowadays, like, social media companies like Elon Musk are wrapped in with the government. So I think that's what they were kind of winking at, is that this social media company.
Now I remember, they were after Ghost because Ghost had stolen the algorithm and technology and built a device that could basically hack into anything.
Yeah.
And so Sackhoff was trying to get the object back and deploy it through the social media company and then become mercs for hire.
That's what it was. Yes.
And by the way, I think we all knew that whatever cute Bulgarian guy, I think we all knew from the jump that he was the inside guy, because what happens is, you know, Sackhoff lets him in on the plan, and he's the one who leaks Hartnett's picture to everybody. Which sets off all of the chaos.
Yeah.
Right. And then how about that ending though? How weird was that? I was like, oh, they can't end like this. But so basically, is the plane is supposed to land or something, but we don't even know. We don't even know, because what happens is Hartnett like blacks out, right? And then he wakes up, and he is, I don't know where he is, but he's in some sort of war zone. There looks to be some kind of like hospital with like kids' pictures. And then the wall explodes, and then the Indian girl comes in and she's like, hey, I had to get you fixed up. And so we stopped somewhere else, but I'm going to need your help. And then it just ends. And I'm like,
and then
what?
She grabs him, and that's it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. They thought the plane was going to land, but she had turned it around, presumably to a place where she could deploy the device safely, and then maybe, you know, rat out Katie Sackhoff's company. So maybe that's what the second movie is going to be. They have to fight their way out of the war zone while also fighting the techs trying to get the object or whatever. But again, all of this is incidental because it was a fun fucking movie. Everybody attached to this, I really hope they do something else. And they do something else, maybe not even in the same vein, but they do something creative, and they bring Josh Hartnett along, because just kudos to everybody. The writers, McLaren, DJ Catrona, the cinematography, all of the stunt coordinators. I mean, just bravo to this little movie that could. I know it didn't do well at the domestic box office, but people need to get out and support it. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah. Any other thoughts? I can't believe we forgot what happened. I mean, honestly, it's the action scenes that are really the highlight here, and so it's kind of like it's just a recent
The
fight.
plot makes it. I mean, my big note was this plot doesn't make sense. Fight, blood, fun.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But there's also these wonderful, weird, eccentric choices. Like, do we not know, folks, that when you fire a gun in a plane, that you can depressurize the cabin and people get sucked out in grisly ways? And yet, at least 3 of these assassins have semi-automatic weapons. Like, come on.
How did they get him on the plane?
I have no idea. But again, there's all these little weird touches, like you said. They put the one guy in the little, like, in the upboard cabinet, and they close it. I'm like, what the? And then somehow they contrive, because his clothes keep getting stained with blood, to put him in a pajama set or whatever, which he uses and fights with for most of the movie. I was like, what? This is great. This is fantastic. I loved it. I don't know. I had a blast.
I had fun. Josh Hartnett's big maniac smile, I could just eat it up. I just want more and more. He's really
I know.
on a roll.
Me too. Hartnett, kudos to you and your career resurgence. We want more. We want more, folks.
Yeah. And I liked it with the blonde hair. I thought he looked kind of fun.
Yeah, actually. And he's finally figured out a way to style it in a way that doesn't look like, I don't know, he went to the monkey petting zoo, put some product in his hair, and had the monkeys like run around on top of him. That's how his hair looked in Age 20 and Faculty. Sometimes it pains me to watch those other Hartnett movies with his bad hair. I don't know what was happening.
Licked by like a horse or something.
Or like Godzilla. I was like okay. All right, so super watch, people. Don't it's watch for me, watch for you. Don't wait for streaming. Try to get to the theater and see it. It's so much fun. Bring your friends. It's great.
Yep.
Wait a minute. What's this? It's got to be rated R, because there's some stuff that happens in this that's kind of crazy. Also, you're right. I did like the nut twisting, especially since he's in the pajama pants. Yeah, it was like
so awesome. The nut twist and then the wine glass of the eye.
Yep.
Oh, fun. Great.
Fantastic. So actually, it ended up in the person's eye, right? And she's all screaming. I leaned over to Scott and I'm like, just push it in. It'll go into the brain or whatever. Great stuff. Okay, pluses. How about I start with you? Do you have a plus? What you got?
Why don't you start?
Okay, so I will start with my plus. I see you. I know the tactic. The tactic, folks, is I don't have a plus. I don't have a plus. Wait, I'm gonna start. Sorry. Oh, woo! We are recording on a Tuesday evening, and it's just fun and ribald for everybody. Okay, so my plus is I had started to watch something called The Match on Netflix, and it stars Byung-Hyun Lee. Speaking of Red 2 and G.I. Joe Retaliation, Byung-Hyun Lee is a Korean actor who played Storm Shadow in G.I. Joe Retaliation, and in Red 2 he was one of the assassins. But I had started this movie called The Match, and it dealt with something called Go, which I think it's a game of strategy. And Scooter and I started it, and about 15 minutes in, we were like, this has no context for us. We have no idea how to play Go. They're talking about like feints and moves, and I was just like, this fucking sucks. So we turned it off, and I'm like, what the hell are we gonna watch? And I pulled up something that I had no idea I was going to like immensely, and we did. So on Netflix, there is a Japanese movie. The original title is Shinkansen Daibaku. But it's a bullet train explosion is what the movie is called. It is 2 hours and 14 minutes. But essentially, think of the film Unstoppable with Chris Pine and Denzel Washington about the train that just keeps going and it can't stop, and they need to figure out what to do. If you mix that with Speed, but you set it on a bullet train in Tokyo, you get Bullet Train Explosion. And it is a fascinating and fun movie that starts out like a disaster film, and then the third act takes it into a completely different realm. There is a bombing case that is similar to this that they're kind of investigating, and it turns out someone on the train might be related to that. And when I say it's like Speed, the bomber has told the police if the bullet train goes under 100 kilometers, I'm sorry, I have to laugh. If the bullet train goes under a certain speed, 100 kilometers, the whole thing will blow up. And so
it's speed.
essentially, but then again, there's this whole mystery about how is this connected to the old thing, and then there's a politician on board, and then there's a detective, and then you get the politics of the people in the trying to stop the train who monitor all the trains, because the bureaucracy is insanity and all of this. It's a really great movie. Like, strap in. 2 hours and 14 minutes, but it goes really quick, really tense sequences. Yeah, it does feel like Speed. Yeah, at the end, it's kind of like, this would never happen. They'd all die, but it's so much fun and it's great. So please check it out. It's called Bullet Train Explosion, or Shinkansen Daibuka. And it's on Netflix. Oh, I think that's the proper pronunciation in Japan. I
did a good job.
I tried to learn Japanese at one point, as well as Russian, so I need to reboot that. Anyway,
yeah,
okay, that's my plus. Go for it.
I actually had one, but again, I'm not home, so I don't have my mic, so the sound is weird, and I don't have the thing that I was going. So I did find it online. I'm going to show it to you. So for my wife, for Mother's Day, I went and got her something. And of course, when you buy your wife something, you also want to buy something that you could use too, right? So,
well, those are the best gifts.
Those are the best gifts. So we have this Theragun, this great big Theragun that you use to like massage yourself and massage your back. We love that thing, right? But it's huge. It runs out of battery real quick. So I went to Shills and I found this really awesome Therabody Theragun Mini. And I'm going to try to show you the picture. You see that little guy?
Oh, yeah. The Mini. I've heard about that. It holds like this.
Yep, it holds like this, and it's just as good as the regular Theragun and gets right into everywhere, but it's handheld, so it's not heavy. The battery lasts longer, and you can just go to 10. You could throw it in your backpack. My wife put it in her purse and went to the gym and hit it. Every time we've gone to the gym since we got it, you just go right to town on it. So again, the Theragun Mini, I got it at Shills. It was on sale when I was there for $149. Unfortunately, it looks like that sells over $199 at Shills. On their website, I think it's $229. So shop around, see if you can get it for a cheaper deal. Again, if you don't have a Shills next to you, it's so much fun to shop at Shills. And
wait, what is it? It's called Shills? SHILL?
Have you never heard of? It's like an REI kind of. It's like a great, big, huge store that's like an REI full of sports.
Oh, okay. Wait, how do you spell it?
SCHEELS.
SCHEELS. Oh, Shields. Okay, I thought you were saying shills, like I'm a shill. For
Utah, we say everything like that. Pills, pills, for real.
Actually, you know what's weird? Brooks McLaren got married in Utah. I don't know if he lives in Utah, but on his Instagram, he was like, I married this lady 11 years in Utah or whatever, and we have a daughter. At the courthouse in Utah is what he said. So I didn't know. It's such a fun store. Very similar to like an REI. You just a big, huge box store, and you can go and find sports equipment, clothes, anything. And my wife being totally into fitness, it's kind of the place I go every year. Nice. I think on Amazonia you can get Amazonia. Yes. Oh, here it is. Theragun Mini, the third. Yeah. So the retail is the retail is $229. But what's weird is you can get the bigger model for $169. Also, riddle me this: how is something smaller but the battery lasts longer? I have no idea. Science, science. Theragun for probably about 3 or 4 years, and every year the battery seems to go down. So maybe it will be the same with this. We'll see. But I love that you can just grab it with this handle. See, I wish I would have brought it with me. So you could just like go to town on it. Yeah. Again, recording when you're on a convention. This is great. And folks, seriously, I will just say this. The Theragun is really strong. So don't get any geeky ideas about it because
don't play it with your privates, people. Don't
you
try to play with that.
your nuts may end up like Josh Hartnett's in Fight or Flight, okay? So
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Don't play with your privates with the Theragun.
I mean, it's like trying to sit on a drill bit, folks. Like, don't do it. Like, I know you're thinking about it, folks, but don't do it. Anywho. Oh, we're gonna get banned from YouTube. Anyway.
So yes, the Theragun and Speed Bullet Train. So there's our pluses.
Yeah, our pluses. They're great. And they go great together. You can watch it while using the Theragun.
Yeah.
On your loved one. Go for it. Yeah, exactly. All righty.
Next week, what are we doing? We're gonna do a little
what are we gonna do next
Final
week?
Destination.
Oh my God, yes. You know what? I was trying to rewatch them and I only got through 1 and 2. I need to keep doing that. But yeah, I'm really excited for Final Destination. What is it called? Bloodlines?
Bloodlines. Yeah.
Yeah. But I every trailer that I've seen successively has had a longer sequence. And I'm just like, why don't you just play the whole movie for us? Like in 120 seconds. Like just yeah. Okay, so we got that going on.
We're the place where we bitch about trailers. We really don't trailers. Stop giving everything away.
Hollywood, what the hell?
I know, I'm so sick of it.
Like, I mean, I know it's so strange. I know that you have to strike the balance between enticing people to come to the theaters, but you don't do that by giving away the entire thing. Watch those old watch the old trailers for like The Exorcist or Star Wars. Like we didn't see every single scene. Like you can make those. Yeah. Tease us like a Theragun. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're doing
this up with the Theragun.
They're doing the Theragun style. We want to tease like with like a, a feather or something. I don't know. Anywho. So join us next week for Final Destination, which I have to tell you, after watching the opening scene of the second film, I really hate riding behind anything that's like towing big objects. Like it just, I think of that movie every single fucking time. In fact, sometimes I'll arrive at work and I'll say, I'm just so happy to be here. I almost got Final Destination. I've actually made it a verb. So yeah. All right. So
this should be the 7th one. I think that's going to be the 7th, right? 2, 3, because I liked 2 and 3.
I think it's 6. It's 1, 2, 3.
Yes, 6.
The Final Destination. Wait, yeah, The Final Destination
was the final, and that was awful.
Yeah.
That's the turd of the bunch.
No. Wait, actually, it was 1, 2, 3. The 4th one was 3D, and then 5 was The Final Destination. Yeah, so I think this is number 6.
Yeah, I like the 5th one. The one where
I like the 3D one. I loved the 3D one. I did like the NASCAR one, but you're right. The at least the 5th one looped it back by giving us that which Devon Sawa then got on and was like, I was never asked to be in it. Well, they just use your footage, dude. Now he is playing coy and saying he's not in this one. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see Devon Sawa. By the way, come on to our show because, I love you. Anyway, speaking of love, if you love us, you'll certainly love our Podfathers Gentleman's Guide to Midnight Cinema. We talk about them frequently, as well as Not a Bomb, Friends with Cinefits, Night of the Living Podcast, Wild Dream Podcast, Death by DVD. Of course, Raiders of the Podcast. Kevin had an amazing guest appearance last episode, and a lot of people have chimed in about how they love Kevin coming on. So that's great. Backlook Cinema Podcast with Zoe, and now for something a little bit different, our YouTube brother John Horgan, Caliber 9 from Outer Space, Feminine Critique, Talk with Rhythm with Goro. Mike, any short parting thoughts?
I have no parting thoughts except be happy.
Take your family to movies. Yes.
Take your family to the movies. Be
exactly.
Happy. Take your family to the movies. Enjoy the summer. Oh, we got Mission Impossible coming in 2 weeks.
Oh my God, that's right. And again, the trailers are fucking things up. So I'm just trying not to, So support exhibition, support physical media. We don't want that to go away. And always be kind, be vulnerable, be open. That's where the art is. We'll see you next week, folks.
Bye.
All right. What was that, like 40 minutes?